राघवं करुणाकरं मुनिसेवितं सुरवन्दितं जानकीवदनारविन्ददिवाकरं गुणभाजनं वालिसूनुहितैषिणं हनुमत्प्रियं कमलेक्षणं यातुधानभयङ्करं प्रणमामि राघवकुञ्जरम्। राघवं करुणाकरं मुनिसेवितं सुरवन्दितं जानकीवदनारविन्ददिवाकरं गुणभाजनं वालिसूनुहितैषिणं हनुमत्प्रियं कमलेक्षणं यातुधानभयङ्करं प्रणमामि राघवकुञ्जरम्। मैथिलीकुचभूषणामलनीलमौक्तिकमीश्वरं रावणानुजपालनं रघुपुङ्गवं मम दैवतं नागरीवनिताननाम्बुजबोधनीयदिवाकरं सूर्यवंशविवर्धनं प्रणमामि राघवकुञ्जरम्। हेमकुण्डलमण्डितामलकण्डदेशमरिन्दमं सादकुम्भमयूरनेत्रविभूषणेन विभूषितं चारुनूपुरहारकौस्तुभकर्णभूषणभूषितं भानुवंशविवर्धनं प्रणमामि राघवकुञ्जरम्। दण्डकाख्यवनेरतामरसिद्धयोगिगणाश्रयं शिष्टापालनतत्परं धृतिशालिपार्थकृतस्तुतिं कुम्भकर्णभुजाभुजङ्गविकर्तने सुविशारदं लक्ष्मणानुजवत्सलं प्रणमामि राघवकुञ्जरम्। Hello everyone.
Hello.
Let's get started
Hi.
with our story time.
Hi. Hi.
If we all can stay on mute, then everyone can enjoy a great story time. Okay? Okay, please stay on mute until the end of this session. Thank you. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham Nrasimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityum Namamyaham. Okay, welcome to yet another story session. We are going to see about the story of an innocent boy who was harassed by a demon. And this demon happened to be that boy's own dad. Can you believe it? That is what happened to the boy named Prahlada. Let's now see the actual story of Prahlad, the boy who was brave and devoted. Long ago, long ago, there lived a demon called Hiranyakashipu. He was also called Hiranya. This demon Hiranya, he was ruling the entire earth, not just United States or India or UK or Europe. He was ruling the entire earth. I am the king of this world. Everyone was scared of him. And he happened to be, unfortunately, a Narayana hater. He didn't like Sriman Narayana. Anyone who talked about Narayana, who even spoke about the word Narayana, he used to get mad. You know what he used to do? He will put them in prison, in dark rooms. And by the way, this is a true story. This is not a fictional story. Okay. He used to put them in prison in dark rooms. People were totally scared. Whoever who were totally scared, they said that, okay, we will not say any Narayana name. We will listen to what you say. Then he said, do not say any name about Vishnu or Narayana because I don't like that God. I am the God here on this earth. And so instead of saying his name, say my name. And so he preached his own shloka or mantra. He said, everyone should say, Om Namo Hiranyaya Namaha. Then people who were scared said, okay. But few of them were brave enough. They said, no, we will only say Vishnu's name. To them, he put them in prison and tortured them. While these were all happening, even if in fact he went to the extent of taking out the statues of Narayana. When you go to Mandir, you would have seen Narayana standing there, Rama standing there, or Krishna, right? Hiranya, the demon, didn't like it. When he went to the temples, he took off all those statues of Narayana and put his own statue right there in the temples, so that people will go to the temple and worship him. That was what happened. Good people were so hurt by this. How can we not say any slokas about Narayana? We can't even recite Vishnu Sahasranama. No, he was so strict about it. And anyone disobeyed him, he tortured them. And he was ruling. Now, he was very happy that no one is there in this world above me. I am the king. He was so proud of it. After a few days, he started to think, wait a minute, on this earth, I am the ruler and I made sure that everyone listened to what I said. But what if there are other planets? What if there are aliens out there in space who are not under my control? I want to become the king of them also. But what if they hurt me? They try to hurt me or injure me. Then I will die, which I don't want to happen. So he went to his guru, the teacher, and asked for his blessing and said, oh, teacher, I don't want to die or hurt by anyone else. I know for sure the people on this earth are under my control and they are not going to do any harm to me. But what if aliens who live in the outer space try to hurt me? Then the teacher gave him an idea. Well, you know that Lord Brahma, who was the creator of all living beings in this universe, you must do your meditation and prayers on Brahma. Lord Brahma, if he is pleased with your prayers, he might grant you a boon so that you cannot be defeated by anyone. Then he decided, okay, let me go and then do it. He went straight into the mountain's top and he stayed there for years together. He did meditation on Lord Brahma. Om Brahmaya Namaha, Brahmaya Namaha. He started praying severe meditation. Severe is real severe. Even if it rained heavily, he was not moved. Even it was too hot, he was not moved. He just was sitting there and did that for years together. Then Lord Brahma was totally impressed with this Hiranya, the demon. He landed on earth and he said, hey Hiranya, looks like you have been meditating and praying on me. I'm quite impressed. Ask me anything you wanted. I will grant it for you. I will give it to you. Then Hiranya opened his eyes and he was quite happy to see Brahma. And he said, "Oh Lord Brahma, all I ask is only one thing from you. I know that you are the creator of all beings in this world. Just make me to live as long as ever. I wanted to live on this earth forever, ever, ever. I don't want to die at all. Just give me that boon. I'm done. You can go. I'll go back to my palace." Brahma said, wait a minute. I don't think I can give such a boon to you. Anyone who is born on this earth, I cannot give such a boon. I'm sorry. Now Hiranya is like, what? Okay. Well, then Brahma said, you can ask any alternative boons that I can probably give you. Then Hiranya is like, let me think. Then he asked, okay, if you are not going to give me that boon, then let me ask you a better boon. I might die only if I get hurt or injured by others. So, what if I ask him a boon where no one in this entire universe can ever hurt or injure me? Then he asked this question, this boon to Brahma. He asked, no one, no human beings, or no animals, or no creatures who have been created by you should ever be able to hurt or injure me. Brahma said, okay, take it. And then he thought about for a few while. And then he said, I don't want to die inside the house nor outside of my house. I don't want to get injured or hurt inside the house or outside of my house. Then Brahma is like, wait a minute. A person can either be inside the house or outside the house. How can it be neither this or that? Okay, fine. I give it to you. Then he said, I should not be hurt or injured neither during daytime nor during night time. What? You have either day or night. How is it possible? Looks like he is asking an intelligent boon with which he wanted to live forever. That is what Hiranya was doing, right? Neither by human beings nor by animals, neither in the day nor in the night, neither inside the house nor outside the house. And he also asked one more boon. I should not get hurt or injured by any weapons. Any weapon should not do anything to me. Then Brahma said, fine, take that as well. So, neither human beings nor animals, neither in the daytime nor in the nighttime, nor any weapons, nor inside the house, nor outside the house, nor on earth, nor in the space should I die. Last boon is he cannot get injured on earth or in the space. Brahma is like, okay, fine. He gave all the boons. Now his Hiranya is quite happy. The demon became more powerful now. Already he was torturing all the people, good people on earth. He was not allowing anyone to practice any good deeds. Now, having gotten this great boon of eternity, he is so powerful now. I am the most powerful. Came back to his palace. He had a wonderful wife called Kayadu, and she, in the meantime, gave birth to a cute little boy. Hiranya, Hiranya's wife, Kayadu, she gave birth to a cute little boy called Prahlad. Hiranya was quite happy. Oh, a son was born to me. He looks like me precisely, and he will grow up to be like me. He was so proud of it. And this boy, Prahlad, strangely enough, was having a lot of devotion and affection towards Lord Vishnu. He always was like Om Namo Narayana. Even at 8 month old, 9 months, 1 year, he was like Om Namo Narayana. When he was alone in his room, this small boy Prahlad used to have lots of toys. And the way that he used to play with his toys is he used to name the ball that he was having. He used to name the ball as Narayana. He used to name the bat as Vasudeva. And he used to have a parrot as his pet. He named that parrot as Vishnu. So he was naming, giving names of Lord Vishnu to each and every toy and his possessions. Whenever he used to not remember where he placed his ball, he used to ask his mom, Mom, did you see my Narayana? Then mom will be like, oh, don't scream. Your father might hear that. He doesn't even want anyone to say outside of this house to say Narayana's name, and you, on the other hand, are using his name for all your toys. You will be in danger, my dear son. I don't want you to be in trouble with your father. Mom, don't worry, Prahlad used to say. Now, when all these things were happening, Prahlad was growing up to be a nice young boy. He reached the right age for schooling. His father decided that he should be put in a school so that he learns everything about Hiranya. And so he said, I have a school of my own. He had a school of his own where in that school only they teach only Hiranya stories. No Vishnu stories, no Krishna stories, no Rama stories, no nothing. Only Hiranya stories. So he said, my dear Prahlad, why don't you go to that school? Prahlad said, sure, father, I will go. He went there and he studied in that school for 1 year. After a year, the school closed for vacation. Prahlad returned home after a year. His father was quite happy. He welcomed Prahlad and said, Hiranya, he said, my son, you're back. Welcome back. And he made him sit on his lap. Now Prahlada was sitting on Hiranya, his dad's lap. Now Hiranya, the dad, asked, looking at Prahlada, my dear Prahlada, you have been going to school for the last 1 year. I'm so curious, What have you learned at school? Can you just say a few concepts that you have learned at school? Now, Prahlada was about to say, Prahlada said, oh dear dad, yeah, I would like to, in fact, say those things to you. Good that you asked me. I learned at school that Vishnu is the first citizen of this entire universe. Even before I was born, even before you were born, granddad was born, great granddad was born, great great granddads were born, ancestors were born. That Vishnu was always there, Dad. That Vishnu was the one who was living on this universe. And he was there inside me, inside you, inside our friends, inside our this, inside that. Everything he is there. His body is like the entire universe, Dad. That's what I learned. And you know what? I also learned how to worship that Vishnu so that we all can be happy. The way to worship him is listen to his stories, Vishnu's stories, and recite his bhajans and slokas of Vishnu. That will please him. And also do some pujas with flowers. That way he will be impressed. And most importantly, I learned, Father, that by helping others and by using proper words while speaking with others and looking everyone equally important, because inside every one of us Lord Vishnu is there. So I cannot say that some people are good, some people are bad. No, all people are good. And I wanted to share all my love and affection with all of them. That is what I learned, because Vishnu is like that. He shares his love and affection with all of us, Dad. And I also wanted to share that with every one of us. That is what I learned from my school, Father. As soon as Prahlada completed his talk, his father Hiranya got the shock of his life. He pushed Prahlada from his lap, and he grew out. He stood up with anger. How dare you talk about my enemy's name right in front of me? Who taught you all these things? Call the teachers. I asked the teachers to give you lessons on my history and not about Vishnu's history. How dare! The two teachers came running. Oh, sir, yes, sir. Hiranya asked, what is this? Two teachers begged. We didn't teach anything. We didn't even know such things, that whatever he said just now. We didn't even know what is affection or love or whatever bhakti that he says. How can we teach him? No, it's not possible. Then Hiranya, the dad, asked him, how did you learn all these things? Then he said, Prahlad said, how can anyone be not knowing, father? This is quite natural to me. I thought that it's natural to everyone. And father is like, you seem to be so rude. You are insulting me. Then he called two people, put him in the dark room in our prisons for 3 days with no food. That's when he will realize my value. And so Prahlad was taken to the dark room, and he was there for 3 full days. After 3 days, during those 3 days, mom was the only person who was worried about Prahlad. Oh, my dear Prahlad, what happened to you? You are not getting any food, and will you be scared in that dark room? I wish that I was with you. But after 3 days, Prahlad came out unhurt with the same energy and enthusiasm that he had before going into the dark room. He was jumping like the same boy he was before going into the dark room. Then his father was like, what? There was no change in him at all. I thought that he will be famished. He will be not having any energy because he wasn't given any food. How was it? Did anyone give any food to him? Then the soldiers who were guarding his room said that no, we promise. We obeyed your orders. We didn't give any food. Okay, he was quite upset. But after a while, Hiranya, the demon, was thinking about it. Okay, let me just give him some more advice and I will change the teachers this time. He changed the teacher at school, and he called Prahlada and said, my son, looks like you have been given wrong education. Now go to the school. I have changed teachers. Hopefully you get right education this time. Then Prahlad said, okay, father, I will go to the school back. He went back to the school. Now, this time it was even worse than before. Earlier, he was the only one who was practicing Vishnu Bhakti, singing bhajans, saying slokas of Vishnu, and practicing all the uh, devotions like offering flowers and pujas. But now he started passing on that knowledge to all the other students in the school. They all started listening to him for all the stories that he had about Lord Vishnu. Oh, wow, this is good. Is that true about Lord Vishnu? Wow, amazing. Then all the students wondered and they asked Prahlad, Prahlad, wait a minute. How come you are the only one who know all these slokas and greatness of Vishnu, while we all are not even aware of it? We were so not knowing all these things. How is it possible that you have learnt all these things? Where did you learn these things from? Now Prahlad looked at his friends and he said, oh, that one I asked my mom. And this was the story that she had when I was too young, when I was in my mother's stomach as a young baby not yet born, a sage called Narada. He came to our house, to my mom's house, and he narrated a lot of stories about Lord Vishnu while I was inside my mother's stomach. My mother was so tired because I was growing in her belly, so she used to sleep off while I was awake, apparently, and I was listening to all those stories told by Narada's sage Narada. Sage Narada told about everything to me when I was inside my mother's stomach. That is how I came to know about those stories. Then the students were like, oh, so you learnt it while you are in your mom's tummy. That we never had such an opportunity. Okay, you are great. Then they all started singing bhajans and they all started enjoying. The teachers got worried now. What is happening? We were trying to teach Hiranya's story here, and this boy is really spoiling the children. The two teachers went running towards Hiranya the demon and they said, "Sir, please do not be mad at us. Your son Prahlada started to teach all wrong things about Vishnu to all other students. It's not just him. Now he started spoiling other students in the classroom. So please take him back." Now Hiranya the demon was really fierce. He was not at all happy to hear that. "Bring that Prahlada here." And immediately Prahlada was brought in front of him. Now he asked Prahlada, "Prahlada, I'm asking you one more time. Will you stop taking Vishnu's name and instead say my name? Just say Om Hiranyaya Namaha. Don't say Om Narayanaya Namaha. That's not correct. Say only Om Hiranyaya Namaha. That is correct." But Prahlada smiled at his dad and said, "Oh, Dad, how can I do that? Because Om Narayanaya Namaha is the right thing that everyone should say, and not your name or my name." Then his father decided that I don't want this child at all. He took the wrong decision, that I will punish this child who is disobeying me as a king and also as a dad. So he ordered men to take him, push him down from the top of the mountain. I don't want. So four men took Prahlada to the top of the mountain and they pushed him from there. But luckily, with grace of Lord Vishnu, he fell on a huge lotus that just grabbed him and he walked home nicely. While these four men returned to uh, demon Hiranya and they said that, "Sir, Prahlada is gone. We pushed him down from the mountain." But Prahlada walked right into that palace. Then Hiranya is like, "What? Who is he then?" Then all those four people were shocked. "We saw with our eyes, we pushed him with his hands. How is he alive? We couldn't understand." Then he asked, "What is happening?" Then Hiranya, the demon, wanted to try something different. Okay, maybe a luck, a chance helped you to live, but not this time. He called a snake charmer. A snake charmer had too many poisonous snakes. He called into his room and said, "Dear snake charmer, get the most poisonous snakes from your basket and let them into Prahlada's room in the night. I don't want Prahlada. Let the snakes bite him and let that poison get into his body." Such a wrong thing, right? He was a small boy. Now that demon dad wanted to punish that innocent boy. Now snakes were let go into Prahlada's room while Prahlada was fast asleep. Now those snakes went near Prahlada and they just went around his bed, didn't do anything. They returned back to the snake charmer. Now, snake charmer, howsoever he tried to put them back in, they are not going. Now he returned to the king and said, "Sir, I'm sorry. I don't know what is happening. My most poisonous snakes I have, they are not even able to get near his bed. They are just going around the bed and returning." What? Maybe your snakes are not that efficient anyway. Forget about it. I will try some other means. And so he called a few people and then said, "Set up fire. Let's throw this boy into that fire and he will be gone." So they just set up fire, and somehow with one person had the ability to sit in that fire with Prahlada. That person had a boon that she will not get hurt even if she sits in that fire. And Prahlada was asked to sit with that woman inside that fire. After a while, that fire didn't do anything to Prahlada, but it burnt that woman. Whoever who was sitting with Prahlada was burnt, but Prahlada came out of that fire unhurt. Whoever was watching that couldn't believe it. Is that even real or are we dreaming? Yes, it was real. Let me pinch you. Yes, it is. And they all ran back to Hiranya, the demon. They told him that, "Sir, we did throw him into that burning fire, but nothing happened to him." Now Hiranya, the demon, grew impatient. Now he reasoned out. Hiranya reasoned out. Okay, I know why it is so hard to hurt him, because the god of death, Yama, is scared of me. Hiranya. I am Hiranya. The god of death itself is scared of me. He doesn't want to do any harm to Prahlad because of that. Now, let me talk to Prahlada. He called in Prahlada and then said, "Finally, Prahlad, I'll ask you one question. Just one question. Answer me that, and we are friends." Then Prahlad said, "Yes, father, I'm ready to answer. Please go ahead." Without getting mad. See, if our dad or mom accidentally stepped on us or just tripped or didn't do anything, we will get so mad, right? "Dad, can't you just see and go? You're hurting me," right? But Prahlad's father intentionally did all hurtful things to Prahlad. He wasn't even mad still. He still loved his dad. He was still having affection towards his dad. And he looked at his father and innocently said, "Yes, father, what question that I can answer to you?" Then Hiranya, the demon, cruel father, asked him one last time, "Will you say Om Hiranyaya Namaha and leave out that Om Narayana Namaha? Will you be just able to do once? Just do once. I'm okay with it." Prahlad looked at his father and said, "No, father, even for one time also, my mouth is not able to produce that. I love you. I respect you. You are my father. I respect you for that. But still, there is Vishnu who is much, much above every one of us, who should be respected, who should be prayed, who should have the meaning for Om Namo Narayana, who's the right person to be used in that sloka. So please don't use your name, and I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry, father," said Prahlad. Now Hiranya was too furious. "Who is your Narayana? You're always saying Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Where is he?" I want to see him. You're not even listening to me. I've been asking you for the last 2 years to just let go of that Narayana, and you have been so adamant. Where is he? Is he here? Then Prahlad didn't get mad about it. He wasn't scared also of his dad. He said, "Yes, father, he is there everywhere." "What do you mean everywhere? Show me right now. Where is he?" "Well, he is there inside me, inside you, inside friends, inside this box, inside this uh, ball, inside this bat, or inside this chair, inside the air, inside water, inside a flower, inside the fruits, inside moon, inside earth, inside all the planets, stars. He is there everywhere. He has occupied this entire universe. Dad, how can you not be seeing him? He is there right here." Then Hiranya, the demon, was like, "What? You are trying to fool me around? Do you think that is he there on this pillar?" Because they were having the conversation inside the palace, right? A palace will have pillars. So he pointed at one of the pillars. The demon, Hiranya, pointed at one of the pillars and asked Prahlad, "So are you going to say that he is in this pillar?" Then Prahlad looked at this pillar and he smiled and said, "Dad, not just on this pillar. He's there on all the pillars and he's there everywhere. Let me repeat that to you once more. How can it be so hard? Even a 2-year-old baby can understand what I'm trying to say. Because it is just so easy. He's just occupied this entire space, universe. There cannot be any spot that he hasn't occupied, Father. So, of course, to your question, the straight answer is yes, he is there in this pillar as well." Then Hiranya the demon determined. He said, looked at Prahlad, "Prahlad, final warning to you. Hear me out clearly. I'm going to use this mace." You know that mace is the big weapon that you have. Hiranya was holding that. "I'm going to break this pillar into two pieces. If, as you say, that Narayana is not in this pillar, I am going to be totally not sparing you. You are going to see the end of it." Then Prahlad was not scared. He just smiled and said, "I'm 200% sure, Dad. He is there everywhere. He will be there in this pillar also. So please go ahead and break it. He will show up." And so Hiranya, the demon, took his mace and banged on the pillar. Boom! The pillar broke into two halves. There, Vishnu emerged from that pillar. Now Hiranya was like, "What? What? Who is coming from my pillar?" "Dad, I told you it's Vishnu. Why are you getting so frightened? Don't have to." "No, it's not possible." But that Vishnu went straight towards Hiranya. He lifted him off. As soon as he lifted Hiranya on his hand, Hiranya started asking, "No, no, 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 no. Wait, you cannot hurt me." Then that Vishnu looked at him and asked why. "Well, I got the boons from Brahma, remember? I cannot be hurt by a human or an animal. Who are you?" Then Vishnu answered, "Don't you see, I have a lion's face and a human body. And so I am neither a human nor a lion nor an animal." Then Hiranya is like, "Oh, okay, yeah. He's having a lion's face. and he's having a human body. Ooh, it looks really scary. Then he took him straight, and then took him straight towards the entrance of the palace. Then he said, wait, 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 wait. Hiranya stopped Narasimha. He is called Narasimha. That Vishnu's name is called Narasimha because Nara means human, Simha means lion. Since he was a mixture of human and lion form, he is called Narasimha. Wait, wait, wait. Hey, Narasimha, you cannot still do anything to me. Then Narasimha asked, now what? Then he said, well, this is almost daytime, and I had the boon that I can never be hurt during the daytime nor in the night time. Now, what are you going to do? Then Narasimha asked Hiranya to look outside. It was twilight. It was neither day nor night, but it is end of day and beginning of night. That is called twilight, right? So towards the end of the day is called twilight. So it is neither day nor night, so I can still hurt you. Then Hiranya is like, oh, yeah, I didn't ask that. Then he took him straight and placed him right on the doorstep. When you are about to enter, right, the door is there, the door of the palace. Then wait a minute. Now I got it, said Hiranya. Narasimha asked, what? Well, you cannot do anything to me inside the house or outside the house. So where are you going to hurt me? It's not possible. Narasimha said, look at me where I'm standing right now. I'm standing on your doorstep, which is neither inside nor outside. Then Hiranya is like, oh yeah, I did miss that one big time. Then the last thing he said, Hiranya said, wait a minute, I got you. This time I really got you. You cannot do anything. Then Narasimha asked, now what? Well, you cannot hurt me on earth or in the space. Where are you going to keep me so that you can hurt me? Well, let me put you on my lap so that you don't lie on the earth nor are you on the space. Then Hiranya is like, oh my goodness, I'm done. Now, finally, he remembered the final boon that he asked, which was, you cannot use any weapon. Hey, I got it. How are you doing? You cannot use your discus. Remember, discus is one of the weapons, and a sword is one of the weapons of Vishnu. So, Narasimha, you cannot do anything still. Then that Narasimha said, all the other boons were intelligent. This is not that intelligent because I am a lion. And lions have sharp nails, don't you see? I will use this nail as my weapon. Then Hiranya is like done because all his boons were gone for a toss. Now he was humbled and he went straight to heaven. And after that, Prahlada was still standing with full devotion to Narasimha. Narasimha walked straight to Prahlada and gave him a hug, big, tight hug. Don't worry, my child. I'm there for you. Don't worry. Then Prahlada is like, I'm quite happy. I'm not worried. I'm with you. Why should I be worried? Now, Narasimha asked Prahlada that you are such a brave child and so much devoted towards me. I'm very impressed, my dear child. Go ahead and ask whatever that you wanted. I will just give you, grant you. Lifetime of pizzas? Ask me, I will give you. But Prahlad is not someone who eats pizzas, right? So he said, dear Narasimha, I don't want anything. Only one thing I wanted. I wanted always to be devoted to you. I should always be saying your shlokas, reciting your uh, bhajans, and listening to your stories. Give me that boon, then I'll be happy. Plus, one bonus boon I wanted. Then Narasimha said, "Go ahead, ask. I'm happy today. I want to give anything that you ask." Then Prahlad said, "I know that you are a little bit mad at my dad. I wanted you to forgive him forever because he had done many things of not worshipping you or not using your name and affecting all other people, but just let him go and forgive him." Then Narasimha looked at Prahlada and said, "Sure, child, I have already forgiven your dad. Don't even bother about it." And then that Narasimha made Prahlad the king of Asuras, and Prahlad ruled as the king of demons, leading a good life, practicing good principles, and always devoted to Sri Mahavishnu. Jai Sri Narasimha. Okay, that was the end of the story that I had for you today. Hope you all enjoyed the story. If you are interested in more stories, the next few sessions are there. You can reach out to Rama by WhatsApp or through email so that you hear about the next story sessions. I'll see you
Bye.
all in the next session.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.